She thought the divorce would leave him with nothing. But everything changed when he made one smart move she never expected. What happened next completely turned the situation around. Her reaction shocked everyone watching. Stay tuned as today's story reveals how a bitter breakup turned into an unforgettable lesson no one saw coming.
Fucking loser! You piece of shit caught in the day! Bro, you're good. Hey, props up to you.
Dude, come on.
What do you mean, come on? You understand she had my child and killed it with an abortion? 2 years we're together with a wedding ring? Cheated on me 7 times, here's 8? Let her shake and talk shit about you. And realize this. You are the biggest scumbag ever. You fucking loser. You're so exposed.
After being caught cheating yet again, she seemed convinced the divorce would guarantee her a massive payout, but she badly underestimated the man she was trying to defeat. Instead of falling apart, he stayed calm, planned carefully, and prepared for a courtroom battle she never saw coming. What followed was a dramatic showdown that flipped the entire situation upside down. By the end, her confidence vanished, her demands collapsed, and the outcome left everyone stunned.
When his wife filed for divorce, she demanded half of his property. Only the court told her that her millionaire husband owned nothing. Apparently, all of his property is registered under his mother's name. Because he transferred his assets to his mother, he technically owns nothing, which means he doesn't owe her anything. Now, instead of transferring the assets to another person, he could have set up a trust and appointed himself as the beneficiary. That way, it's a separate legal entity, just like a person, but it's way more secure, which means his assets are not only protected from divorce, but also legal claims and creditors.
Filing for divorce may have seemed like a winning strategy at first, but the situation quickly took an unexpected turn. The lifestyle she once enjoyed began slipping away, and reality became impossible to ignore. As the dust settled, she faced the difficult truth of starting over in a world far different from what she imagined. The emotional fallout hit hard, and the future no longer looked as simple or secure as before. In the end, the experience became a powerful reminder that major decisions often come with lasting consequences.
Doesn't matter whose name it is under. All that matters is that we're divorced and this house which I've paid for isn't for you.
We haven't paid for it if it's not under your name, no?
Well, no, it doesn't matter whose name it is for.
Well, it does, because we were together.
Okay, well, I bought this house as a gift for my mum.
Well, why are we living in it then?
Because it doesn't matter.
Well, it does, because if you divorced...
Well, yeah, we're not living in it anymore, are we? Well, I am.
So how long are we going to keep that a surprise for then?
It doesn't matter. You didn't pay a single penny for the house.
I contributed my fair share to this place.
How did you?
Cooking, cleaning, one less thing for you to...
Oh! Well, congratulations.
That was the
you can cook
agreement.
and clean somewhere else. Look, you divorced me, okay, yeah? You have no right to this house. I knew that this was going to come because since we first got married or whatever, that's all you're interested in. You're only interested in the financial side of stuff, and then when shit hits the fan, things start to go a bit low. You call for a divorce. Cool, I'll let you have that divorce.
No.
But when I bought this house, I put this house in my mum's name.
She entered the courtroom confident she would walk away with a huge financial victory. But the hearing took a shocking turn when it was revealed that her wealthy husband legally had no major assets in his own name. According to court records, everything had been carefully placed under his mother's ownership long before the divorce battle began. The unexpected revelation completely changed the mood inside the courtroom and left her legal strategy falling apart in real time. What started as a high-stakes demand for wealth quickly turned into a harsh lesson about preparation, legal planning, and unforeseen consequences.
I am down to my last 2 million. I have no idea where my next million is coming from. I don't know how I'm going to survive. I've lost everything. My husband has just died, which actually I don't really care about, but he was supposed to leave me 33 million and he didn't leave me with anything, so now I'm like really poor. How do people survive with only 2 million in the bank? Like, I might actually have to start working soon. How am I going to tell Darkwing? And the worst thing of everything is not being poor, it's having to blend in with the poor people.
She sparked major backlash after expressing disappointment over receiving a multi-million-dollar inheritance following her husband's death. Many people were stunned by the reaction, especially considering the amount of money involved, would be life-changing for most families. Critics argued that instead of appreciating the financial security she had been given, she focused only on what she believed was missing. The situation quickly turned into a heated debate about expectations, wealth, and how easily perspective can be lost when money enters the picture. For many watching the story unfold, it became a reminder that financial privilege can sometimes create unrealistic standards that disconnect people from everyday reality.
These women are in their bikinis. They're laying out, why does he need to be over there? He makes a lot of money, but when I leave, I'm not going to have that. So I need to keep the lifestyle that my children and I have had.
Well, there's no excuses about any of the women. I had developed this business long before we got married. One of the things that I do is I go out and I make sure the work has been averaging about 280.
He's not even being truthful about that. He makes over 300. I have been only working part-time, so I would have to find a job.
He makes over 300? Okay. Is that true, Mr. Harper?
No. So not only do I maintain the house and maintain the bills and take care of all that, I also have the kids on my insurance, her on my insurance.
So what I'm going to do, that brings your child support amount to $2,222.
The court dispute intensified when she reportedly pushed for continued financial support even after the relationship had completely fallen apart. Critics of the situation argued that the ongoing demands placed even more strain on an already bitter separation. Supporters of the ex-husband claimed he was being treated less like a co-parent and more like a permanent source of money, fueling heated debate online about fairness, responsibility, and financial boundaries after divorce. As reactions poured in, the case became another example of how emotional breakups and financial disputes can quickly turn into public controversy. Many viewers saw the situation as a warning about the importance of clear agreements, accountability, and protecting long-term financial stability.
I'm literally sitting on my bathroom floor. I just need to talk about this really quickly. Divorce is very hard, especially when you have kids. And now I have to deal with not having my daughter all the time, and it breaks my freaking heart. You have no idea. Her dad gets her every other weekend, and I know I get her a lot of the time, and it's just, so I have to go work, and I feel bad when I leave her.
She moved forward with the breakup, believing a better future was waiting on the other side. AT first. The decision seemed confident and certain, but reality soon proved far more complicated than expected. As time passed, the excitement of independence reportedly faded, replaced by regret over losing a stable relationship that once brought comfort and security. The story quickly caught attention online, with many people debating whether personal freedom is always worth the cost that can come with walking away too quickly. For viewers following the situation, it became another reminder that major life choices often look very different once the emotions settle and everyday reality sets in.
Female, married, I'm 37, I have 2 kids, they're 5 and 7, and I've been a stay-at-home mom for the past 10 plus years. I have no income, I have no money, I use my husband's credit card and I use my husband's money. He told me he's gonna cut it off, and I gotta like move all the automatic payments and stop using it. And he said, you need to start using your own card now. What card? I don't have a card. That is my card. Terrifying. I mean, I feel like a little girl who needs their mommy because I don't know how to take care of myself.
Seeing her former husband succeed while she struggled financially became a difficult reality to face after the separation. What she may have once viewed as leaving behind a problem reportedly turned into the loss of stability and long-term security. As his career and finances continued to improve, the contrast between their lives became impossible to ignore. Comments about his success being hard to watch sparked strong reactions online, with many people arguing that personal decisions also come with personal consequences. The situation has since fueled wider conversations about accountability, financial planning, and how dramatically life can change after the end of a relationship.
I hate to break it to you, but your divorce negotiation, you're not going to feel like it's fair. I know I didn't. I was completely dumbfounded that I had stayed at home to raise my children. I'm looking for my laptop. And at the end of the day, I walked out with $9,000 in debt, no assets but a car and a dresser. And I found myself sleeping in my sister's basement. And I was like, it's not fair. And it's not. It's absolutely not. It's not fair that you do the thing to take care of the family, right?
Tensions reportedly boiled over during mediation, but emotional arguments were no longer enough to repair the relationship. By that point, he had already made it clear that he was ready to move on and leave the past behind. Legal threats and heated exchanges only added more pressure to an already complicated situation, especially after important adoption documents could not be located. The missing paperwork quickly became a major issue, creating even more frustration during the dispute. What unfolded became another example of how unresolved conflicts, legal complications, and emotional decisions can turn personal separations into long and painful battles.
I just want you all to know that this isn't fair.
A breakup that once felt exciting and ideal quickly turned into a more complicated reality once life moved forward. What seemed like a confident decision in the moment began to feel different when expectations of a better situation didn't fully match real-world outcomes. As time passed, the contrast between anticipation and reality became more noticeable, especially when navigating single life and modern dating challenges. The situation has drawn attention online as people debate how emotions, expectations, and timing can heavily influence major relationship decisions that in the end, it stands as a reminder that big personal choices often carry consequences that only become clear after the initial emotions settle.
Take away my right to work! Take away my right to have a job! I don't want to work! I don't want to work! Okay? I don't care about women's suffrage, frankly, after everything else. Okay, I don't mean it like that. You guys get what I'm saying. If you're gonna take away anything, take away my right to work! I will gladly sit at home and make a fucking sandwich if it means I don't have to go outside in this public hellhole every single fucking day.
Entering the divorce process with expectations of taking a large financial share, she appeared confident about the outcome. However, the situation took an unexpected turn when it emerged that the husband's wealth was not directly in his name. Instead, key assets were reportedly structured under his mother's ownership, significantly changing the financial picture presented in court. This revelation shifted the entire direction of the proceedings and left her legal assumptions under serious challenge. The case quickly became a widely discussed example of how asset structures and long-term planning can dramatically influence divorce outcomes, often in ways that are not immediately obvious.
2, 1!
Not revealed.
Well, it's you.
It's not me. It's not me.
Well, it's not me. Who else?
It's this person. You're cheating. I don't know what you're doing because it's not me. Dad, I know 100% certainty. So you're lying to me now.
How? I'm not lying to you. What do you mean it's not you? Who else is going to be
I've had tests done, right? And what's this all about? How are you playing? I can take this off. Yeah? Because it's someone else, it's not me.
A painful relationship breakdown unfolded after a man reportedly discovered his wife in a new apartment with another individual, marking a deeply emotional turning point. The situation escalated into a serious legal and financial dispute, with reports suggesting significant monetary compensation was later secured from the other party involved. While the financial outcome was notable, it did little to ease the emotional weight of the separation. Beyond court results and settlements, the story highlights a difficult reality many people face after betrayal. Legal resolutions can address financial matters, but emotional recovery often takes much longer and is far more complex.
Why is the house still in his mama's name? I just got back from reviewing a divorce petition. I asked the client specifically, is the house in your name? He's like, yeah, it's been my house since my mother passed away. Me and my wife have been living in this house. Several red flags was ringing up to me. Something told me, do a title report. Go to data tree, pull the title history. The house is not in his name. It's still in his mother's name. No affidavit, no transfer on death, nothing. So now in the middle of a divorce that they were going to already sell the property, which that's what they hired me for. Now his mother's estate has to go into probate because the house has never been legally transferred. It's still in his mother's name, on top of the fact that community funds have been used to pay the mortgage, get things fixed and everything for several years.
In what became a surprising legal twist, the husband's financial structure played a major role in the outcome of the divorce proceedings. Reports suggest that his assets were arranged in a way that placed ownership under his mother's name, which significantly changed what was available during the settlement. This shift left the opposing side facing a very different financial reality than expected. The case has since drawn attention for how careful financial planning and ownership structures can influence legal disputes. It also sparked wider discussion about how important transparency, documentation, and proper legal advice are during major life transitions like divorce.
I sold your ring.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
You can't do that. That was mine.
Well, I don't want my cheating wife to have a wedding ring. You don't deserve it. And we're getting a divorce.
No.
Do you want to talk about how I know that you're cheating?
How do you know? I've been thinking about it lately, and I've been feeling really guilty, and I was gonna tell you and try to make things better and good again, but
What, so all of a sudden you just have a conscience? You just have a conscience all of a sudden and now you want to work things out and you were just taking your good old time and waiting until what you thought was the right time to come clean?
No, I've been thinking about it a lot lately, and I was getting ready to tell you.
Well, you didn't tell me. And now you don't have a wedding ring. And now you're about to not have a husband. I don't care. You don't deserve that chance. I sold the wedding ring and I'm keeping the money. And I'm going to have to use that money to get a divorce lawyer.
But that ring was mine.
Well, it's not yours anymore. It's going to be somebody else's, unfortunately. For them as well.
A confrontation unfolded after a disagreement over the wedding ring, following allegations of infidelity that had already fractured the relationship. Emotions ran high as questions were raised about what the ring symbolized and what it meant in the context of trust that had been broken. Reports suggest the item was later sold, which added another layer of tension to an already painful situation. The incident quickly became part of a wider discussion about how symbolic objects can carry emotional weight in relationships, and how decisions made during conflict often reflect deeper, unresolved issues rather than just material value.
Thanks to you, my daughter has nothing. Nothing. And I want to know why the house was put in your mother's name when you've got two flashy cars on the drive. Sorry? Is that really the way to speak to your ex-mother-in-law? Is it?
Well, it is, yeah. Listen here.
So could you please answer my question? Why is this house in your mother's name and not why did my daughter not know about this?
Well, unlike your opportunistic. That's how you say the word. Opportunistic. That's how you say it. Daughter, yeah. Unlike her, I'm a very caring son. So I thought, well, I love my mother. Let me buy my mother a house in case if I sadly maybe pass away before my mother.
No, I'm sorry.
But it could be likely. So my mother has a nice, lovely
house. You didn't think to mention this to my daughter? You didn't think to mention it to her?
I don't need to love her.
I mean, she married you and she loved you and she tried.
A tense family dispute reportedly surfaced after the marriage ended, leading to a confrontation involving the former mother-in-law and her ex-son-in-law. The disagreement centered around financial and property matters, with strong emotions on both sides following the breakdown of trust in the relationship. According to accounts of the situation, ownership structures had already been arranged in a way that limited direct access to certain assets, significantly affecting expectations during the separation. The incident has since drawn attention online, where people are debating boundaries between families after divorce and how financial arrangements can complicate already sensitive personal conflicts.
payments on there that I've never received. I don't know where they're coming from. They said it was a lien, but yet they can't tell me where the lien coming from. I mean, he's incarcerated. He don't have a lien. He don't have bank account. Where's it coming from? Where's those payments coming from?
It was just a payment that we were able to attain and was sent
I know.
out.
Where are they coming from?
I don't know the specifics without him
That's
to
the
look.
thing. I don't want to accept money when I don't know where it's coming from. He's
Ms.
incarcerated.
Edgerly, Ms. Edgerly, the Attorney General's office does not have to tell you where the money comes from.
But that no one wants to tell me anything, though.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you want me to
Ms.
do?
Edgerly, I need you to stop talking, please.
No, I'm not.
Then I'm going to mute you and then eventually evict you from my courtroom.
I mean,
You understand this is my courtroom, Ms. Edgerly?
I do, totally.
Then I can't answer your question if you just keep talking and you keep asking one question after another.
I've only asked 2 questions and I've been denied both answers.
Because they have federal rules in place that require that they not give you the information. They're privacy rules. They're not supposed to tell you how they got the money from Mr. Merrick. Okay? They're not required.
Because it ain't coming from them, though. That's the thing.
Well, then what does it matter where it's coming from as long as it's coming from a legal source?
Because I don't want it to come from the state or my family who has a thumb over me. I don't need all that. I'm very aware of what's taking.
In a heated post-separation dispute, tensions rose over attempts to enforce ongoing financial responsibilities tied to incomplete or missing documentation. The situation reportedly escalated when one party challenged the validity and organization of the paperwork, arguing that key records were not properly maintained. This led to a breakdown in communication and the end of further negotiations. Following the standoff, both sides moved away from direct contact, leaving the matter unresolved outside of continued legal channels. The case has since sparked broader discussion online about the importance of proper documentation, clear agreements, and handling financial obligations through formal legal processes rather than emotional conflict.
Watching my ex thrive, it's a beautiful thing, but it's really triggering for me because I walked away with literally having to start over after 12 years of starting over, of wondering if I'm going to be able to keep a roof over my head with my boys and not being able to just go out and play in our backyard like we used to, and wondering if I'm going to be able to feed them.
After the separation, frustration and regret reportedly surfaced as the reality of living without shared assets and stability set in. What once felt like a confident decision later became more complicated when daily life and financial pressures looked very different from what was expected. The situation has drawn attention online, with many people debating how choices made during emotional moments can lead to outcomes that feel harder to manage in hindsight. IT also highlights a broader point. Once a relationship ends, both emotional and practical consequences can reshape life in ways that are not always immediately obvious at the time of the decision.
So you're looking for somebody else to start taking care of you?
No, I don't want him.
And you have 3 children by how many different men?
3.
And how much child support do you get?
I get child support 1 kid and $697.
Have you contributed to the house payment?
No.
Why not?
Because I'm paying for everything else.
What is everything else that you're paying for?
Groceries to stay in the house, and I pay for all my kids. Groceries, clothes.
Have you ever contributed anything to other than paying for your children's food? Have you ever contributed anything to the mortgage, to the utilities, to the down payment on this house, or the payment of insurance or taxes on this house at all?
No, ma'am.
What's led to you filing this divorce, sir?
We started having issues in October, which was relatively shortly after being married. She even told me that her therapist and her had discovered that through their therapy that she wasn't really in love with me.
Has she contributed anything financially to this marriage?
Other than groceries for her and her kids, no.
Because that was a house we were married.
And so you are not romantically involved with anybody?
I did sleep with him. But we don't talk about it. I text him twice.
What? Oh, I did sleep with him. Now I have
We
slept
don't
with him
text
multiple
about
times.
it. He lives in Chattanooga. I slept with him twice.
Where?
And 2 times in a hotel.
Asking for a divorce. So therefore, as was pointed out, whether Ms. Balknick
wants to move out of the house or not right now, that's coming. I mean, you're going to have to do it sooner or later.
A major divorce case took an unexpected turn when financial expectations collapsed during the legal process. Reports indicate that what appeared to be a large personal fortune was structured in a way that placed key assets under the ownership of a close family member. This arrangement significantly changed what could be claimed during the proceedings. As a result, the anticipated financial outcome did not materialize, and the case became a widely discussed example of how asset ownership structures can influence divorce settlements. The situation has also sparked broader conversations about financial planning, legal documentation, and the importance of transparency in complex family wealth arrangements.
If he gets credit for that child, it will be $329 a month. So you disagree with that?
I do disagree with that. And I also would like to factor in that he does own his own business and runs his own business. So he does have additional incomes besides his job.
So what are you requesting then for the child support?
I'm requesting $400 a month in child.
1st, 2024. Ms. Curry, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say that doesn't cover what you do. I've given him credit for 2 other children, and so that's what it is.
So that's not even $400 a month. That's $50 a week per kid. That's nothing.
Okay.
How am I supposed to support kids? That's not 50%.
What I'm supposed to do is set his child support at guidelines. It's not supposed to be 50%. It's supposed to be 20% of his net income, not 50% of what their expenses are. What we can do is we can make this a temporary order, and y'all.
No, I don't want a temporary order. If you want to finalize it,
then this is fine. Then it's fine.
Can I request back child support?
No, ma'am, you may not. You agreed to no child support at the time of that order. So now you can't go back and request retroactive child support.
In a courtroom hearing focused on child support, one party requested a significant increase in payments. However, after reviewing the financial details and circumstances presented, the judge declined the request, stating that the evidence did not meet the required legal standard for modification. The ruling emphasized that child support decisions are based on verified income, documented needs, and legal guidelines rather than emotional arguments or assumptions. The case has since sparked discussion online about how child support is determined and the importance of following formal legal criteria when seeking adjustments.
There's everything you need to know about protecting your assets from divorce. First of all, it is perfectly legal and effective if done properly. In order to do it properly, you must do it before the divorce begins, and you cannot protect jointly owned marital property. The protection is even better if you can do it before the marriage takes place, but you can still do it after the marriage occurs. The assets which you can protect best are liquid assets such as stocks, cash, bonds, cryptocurrency. However, it is still possible to protect other assets such as real estate and a business. Like with any lawsuit, you should keep in mind the ultimate goal is to reach an acceptable settlement. In a divorce, you should expect to pay some settlement, but why not reach a settlement on your terms? When it comes to the strategy for protecting your assets, there's no substitute for an offshore asset protection trust. Prenups and postnups can be beneficial, however, those are frequently disregarded. Domestic asset protection trusts can offer some level of protection, however, there are many cases where these trusts completely fail to protect assets. And plaintiff attorneys know this, and they will be much more aggressive in going after assets held in a domestic asset protection trust than they would be in an offshore asset protection trust. When creating an offshore trust, you will want to establish your trust in one of the 3 most protective jurisdictions, which are the Cook Islands, Nevis, and Belize. In most circumstances, I recommend my clients start with the Cook Islands, as the Cook Islands are well regarded as the most protective jurisdiction, which gives you the most leverage to negotiate an acceptable settlement.
For many high net worth individuals, protecting long-term financial interests during major life changes is a serious consideration. Legal tools such as trusts and structured asset planning are sometimes used as part of broader estate and wealth management strategies. When properly established under the law, these arrangements can help clarify ownership, succession planning, and financial responsibilities. Experts often emphasize that transparency, lawful documentation, and professional legal guidance are essential when managing complex assets, especially in the event of divorce or family disputes. Ultimately, financial planning is less about conflict and more about ensuring stability, clarity, and compliance with legal systems.